Good morning, everyone. It's Ashley, and today is Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you and your families. I was tagged by Rachel from Rachel Hobson to do the Night Before Christmas book tag, and so I wanted to film that before Christmas is over. My family Christmas fun doesn't start for another hour, and so while everybody thinks I'm still sleeping, I'm going to film this video because the rest of the day I probably won't have time. So this is a really fun tag that's been making the rounds this season, and basically I'm going to tell you a story while also telling you some of my favorite books. And I'm doing this a little bit different. I am doing only books that I have read this year. So let's just get started.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. A book that kept you up so late that everyone else was asleep.
There are many books that do that to me, but for this question I chose All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This book, I read it in just under 2 days, including working full-time during those 2 days. This book was so good, so sweet, so heartbreaking, so everything you want in a book. I have a book talk on this if you're interested. I'll link it down below.
With Ma in her kerchief and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, a book that made you fall asleep.
This year, the book that did that the most was Systematic Theology by Stanley M. Horton. I had to read this for class, and it was a doozy. I had to shut off everything so I could be able to concentrate on it. I have been in church and in church leadership my entire life, and there were so many words in this book that I just didn't know and had to stop and look up. Amazingly detailed and thick, and would just put me to sleep if I was not well rested. But it is full of good information, and I did a lot of highlighting, so I did learn something.
When out on the roof there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. A book or book scene that made your heart race.
This year, the book that made my heart race the most was Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer, because I didn't know this was coming and nobody knew it was coming, and the circumstances around this book coming out was just so fun, and my heart was racing for a week. Not even because of the material inside, just because this book exists, my heart was racing. And I have all sorts of videos for this, which I will also link all around. I'll probably do the little thingy here so you can see all of them.
When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, an utterly magical book.
I took this a little bit differently than most people are going to take it, and I'm saying Amish Vampires in Space by Carrie Neitz. I fell in love with this book completely. I heard it existed, I thought it was a joke, and it wasn't. And the fact that this exists in the real world and is not actually a standalone but a duology just makes me so happy. And I think that is just such a magical world that we live in, that there is an actual book called Amish Vampires in Space with a sequel called Amish Zombies from Space, which I still need to get my hands on. And it's not actually a crappy series. It's actually pretty awesome, and that just is magical to me.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick, a twinkle-eyed book character that made you happy.
And for this, I am picking Henry from The Air by Kira Cass. Henry is one of the men vying for Eden's heart in this round of the selection. He doesn't speak much English, but he is just so sweet. He just sounds like such a sweet, sparkle-eyed character, and I fell in love with him, and Eden's a fool if she doesn't. Although I really like Hale too, so I'm holding out judgment until the next book.
So up to the housetop, horses they flew, the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. Book that flew you to another land.
And for this, I am going with Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. I just read this book last week, and it was just so sweet, and it takes you into 3 different lands. And I really liked that look into what happens in storybooks when we're not there. I just thought that was a really clever idea, and it was a really nice escape from the world for a couple hours.
And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing pawing of each little hoof. A book creature you love.
For this, I'm going with Hedwig from the Harry Potter series. This isn't a picture of Hedwig because for some reason there isn't a picture of Hedwig in this new illustrated version. However, this is a just gorgeous picture, and there's plenty of owls, so gratuitous Harry Potter drawing pictures. But honestly, who doesn't want a Hedwig in their life?
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A character that proves more than their first impression.
For this, I am going with Everybody in We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I'm still not sure if I really enjoyed this book or if I really hated it, so I guess that means it gets a good rating from me, and it will probably make my favorite books of the year because it took me on that journey and because nothing was what I expected it to be. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil you.
He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. A book or book character that made you laugh.
For this, I am showing you The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. I could have chosen any one of his books because they've all made me laugh, but specifically I'm going to say Leo from the Heroes of Olympus series. I'm only halfway through, but he just cracks me up. I love him. I think he's such a clever character. I just love Rick Riordan. He's got such a sassy, snarky way of writing, and it's fantastic.
A wink of his eye and a nod of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. A book that makes you feel safe.
First, I'm going to go with the obvious choice of the Bible, because when I'm feeling stressed or scared or overwhelmed or any of those feelings, I can always find comfort in these pages. And as far as a novel, an escape to make me feel safe, I'm going to go with anything by Lori Wick. This is The Rescue, which is the second book in her English Garden series. This is one of my favorite series by anyone, but especially by her.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings and turned with a jerk. A book that put you to work.
This book, I didn't really have to concentrate on too hard, but it has made me work in that it's made me think about how I live and the way I do things and how I want to live my life. And that is 52 Ways to Live a Kick-Ass Life by Andrea Owen. This book was just really good. I flew through it on a plane ride and took copious amounts of notes, which is why I had to buy my own copy.
Happy Christmas to all, and to all good night. A book with a magnificent ending.
And for this, I'm choosing A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I fell in love with this book completely head over heels. I really enjoyed the ending because it wrapped things up in a way that you were like, oh, good, that was a good ending. I'm not worried about anybody. I'm excited for these characters going off on this new adventure, and you didn't feel like you automatically needed the next book right now. There were no cliffhangers or anything, but at the same time, it left open all of these questions and all of these possibilities for the next book, and I'm really excited for when the second one comes out. I just thought that V.E. Schwab brought everything together in such a magnificent way that this gets all of the points. All of them. So there you have it, the Night Before Christmas book tag. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm not going to tag anybody because Christmas is going to be over by the time I get this posted, but if you'd still like to do it, then by all means, I tag you. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you soon. Bye. Say that. A book or book scene that made your heart race.
Somewhere in time.
No, you have to say that line. Oh, what?
Does that look like I'm looking above your head?
A little bit. Hold it in front of my face.
Right in front of her face.
Oh, like perch it on her glasses.
Like on her face.
Like use the
like
glasses.
in front of her face.
Oh, look, we got the joy in the background. Oh, very nice. All right, whenever you're ready.
Alright, right in front of her face, like on her eyes.
You want me to hold it?
I will happily kill that dog for you for $1.
I'm going to beat you, dog.
Beat you, dog.
Wait till they stop talking about beating the dog.
Bloopers!
Sam is going to be in my video.
Bloopers!